Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is RONKERAJI, and if you stumbled and fell upon my channel, then welcome. If you haven't already subscribed, down below, give me a comment. Let me know what you think about this tutorial. Give me a thumbs up, of course, if you like the tutorial. And I'm going to show you how to get this nice glowy look today. So this is a follow through tutorial. So let us just jump in. So the first thing I'm going to say is it's very important for you to be very hydrated, especially in the winter. I've been using black soap and shea butter for my skin. So I've already put shea butter on my skin. Make sure that you do your makeup after you get out of the shower. This is very important because this is going to help with that inner hydration and your skin is going to be very well moisturized. So what I like to do is use the Maribidescu rose water spray to put in a little more moisture into my skin. I gotta put on some music because if you're about to slay your face and give yourself some glow, you need that music. So this is a very nice basic kind of look. However, I want to explain it as thoroughly as possible. If you're watching this tutorial and you're doing your makeup, then pause, follow along, and I'm pretty sure you will get the same results. Pay attention to the technique. Don't pay attention too much to the products. So I have used my Smashbox primer. You can also use the Maybelline Baby Skin primer in place of the Smashbox primer I used. But I'm going to use my corrector. Corrector is very important in achieving a perfect look to your skin. If you have dark spots or blemishes, so what I like to do is put corrector even on my eyes because my eyes are a little bit dark. And I use my e.l.f. concealer brush to just blend that in. And what I like to do is use more pressing motion, so you're going to basically pounce it on top of your skin to make sure it blends. So just using your brush and picking it up and putting it down onto your skin, and I'm just going to blend all of that corrector out very well. But don't blend it too much, because if you blend it too much, what is going to happen is it's not going to show up. So now that it's adequately blended, we're going to use our foundation. We're going to use our foundation. Make sure for this tutorial you use your favorite foundation, and mine is the MAC Pro Longwear Nourishing Waterproof Foundation. I mix NC45 and NC50 because NC45 is too light and NC50 is too dark. So when I mix both of them, it gives me my perfect shade. For foundation, you want to put it on your skin first before blending it out with a brush. A brush is the most useful tool that you can use to blend out your foundation to give you a very seamless and nice finish. And again, I'm using that patting motion that I use for the corrector for my foundation. So I'm just going to pat that on, make sure that the foundation is very seamless and it's well blended. I actually spend a lot of time blending in my foundation. You don't want to swipe the foundation because swiping the foundation is going to make it less coverage, and it's also going to make it a bit streaky. So you want to make sure you kind of pat it onto your skin and pat it on until your skin is totally perfect. Then I'm going to use concealer. For concealer, you want to place it in strategic areas. You want to use a concealer, especially for this type of glow tutorial. You want to use a concealer that is only one shade lighter than your skin tone. If you use a concealer that's way too light, you're not going to have that natural glow effect. You're just going to look a little bit too highlighted. So today I'm going to use the LA Girl Pro Concealer in Fawn, which is, as you can see, one shade lighter than my foundation. You place it in this fashion depending on your face shape. Most of the times it will give you a very nice and flawless look. So you just place it on. You can use any brush as long as it's flat. You want to place on the concealer, and what I recommend is actually for you to wait at least 2 to 3 minutes before blending it out, because this gives you a great coverage. With this tutorial, even though we're doing a lot of heavy glow, you don't want your skin to be way too dewy. So I'm going to just place this concealer on all the areas where it's needed. I also like to place it around on my forehead, just so that when it blends out flawlessly into the foundation. After I'm done with that, I'm going to blend it. I use the beauty blender, but I've used so many sponges, and make sure that your sponge is very moist. I also use a Real Technique sponge. Real Technique sponge is pretty inexpensive. With blending, you want to be very careful. You don't want to over blend. So just pat gently. use your blender to pat gently. Make sure it's damp. If it's too wet, it's going to take off your concealer. And if it's too dry, it might also pick up too much. So make sure it's very damp. Squeeze it out with a towel and just dot it on all the areas where you blended that concealer. Don't put too much concealer, because too much concealer, you have to now blend it too far. Then before you do anything, make sure you set it. I like to dip my same sponge into powder and just use it and go over the areas where I've set. There's a lot of good setting powders. Maybelline has a really nice setting powder that you can use, but you want to make sure that the setting powder you use does not give a lot of flashback. Oh, bless me, you guys, I'm so sorry. I had to put this in there because I'd be sneezing, man. But anyway, so going on to contouring, I use the Black Up contour powder, and what I like to do is just use this to bronze up my complexion. Can you imagine I forgot my nose contour? So I put the contour, or I put the powder very close to my nose, and I put the powder on top of my nose, as you've seen how I do it here. And this basically gives me a very soft natural contour, but it still makes my nose look snatched. So that is the overall concept. Anyway, so moving on to my brows. Kai, I can talk sha. Moving on to my brows, I make sure that my brows are very well filled in, and I carve them out with my concealer. Because my hair is light, you'll see at the end of the tutorial I use brow set to make it a little lighter. I also use the concealer for my part, because this part looked so natural after I did this, and it's so necessary to put a little bit of concealer in your part. I was just looking at it and I was like, yo, you gotta get that. Now I'm just going to dust off all the powder from under my eye gently. As you can see, oh wow, did my brush smell weird? Then go in with my liner, Kat Von D Trooper liner, and I go over my cheek area, just my cheek area, with my dark deepest mineralized skin finish. You can use any other powder, but I like to do this because I feel like it blends everything together seamlessly. Moving on to the lips, I use MAC Cork lip liner. This is such a nice everyday lip liner because it's a soft brown. It's not as dark as chestnut. You guys know in most of my natural neutral tutorials, this is the lip color I always wear because it's literally perfect. You can also use concealer, honestly, because this looks like a lighter version of my concealer. Then just give me a little bit of a lip glow. I use the Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb. If you guys have not gotten this gloss bomb, you are slacking, because it literally is a beautiful, nice, universal color that you can use on any lipstick. Go on, put on my lashes, and I use the Rogue and Rogue lashes in Miss Fury. I always have a coupon code down below in the description box. Then I mist my face. Now, this is the important part. I mist my face before highlighter, because before the spray dries, I like to put on the highlighter. This makes the highlight pop even more. So spray your face and immediately go in with highlighter. Before I actually go and use the highlighter that I'm going to use today, I like to put a base. The base gives the highlighter a little bit more of a glow. So as you can see, my skin is looking glowy already. As I said, you want to make sure that your skin is hydrated while you're putting the highlighter on, because this makes your highlighter pop even more. Using a smaller brush, I use the highlighter on my cheeks, and I just use it basically on top of my cheekbone. If you touch in that area, you'll see where your highlighter is supposed to be placed, and also on my chin. Now, going in with the real highlight. This highlight is going to make you beam. I wet my brush a little bit, and you guys, it doesn't translate as well on camera, but if you saw it in real life, it's literally so sparkly, so beautiful. So I just basically use that all over. Okay, that was a bit too much. I use that all over the places that I went in with the Black Radiance highlight, and this makes your highlight pop even more. A smaller brush for my nose all the time, because this makes my nose look a little bit more defined. because I'm extra, I go in with the Stila Kitten metal pigment, and I just put that on the inner corners of my eye. This gives me a brighter inner corner. And as I said, this is the brow set that I use for my brows so that my brows will be lighter and also it would match my hair. Then last but not least, I use a little bit of blush, and this is basically most of the tutorial done. And if you have any questions for me about what I did with this tutorial, or if I was too fast about anything, please let me know in the comment section down below. Immediately I post this video, I usually try to respond to you guys as much as I possibly can to help. And I really hope you enjoyed this. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, like, and you guys have a great week. Bye.